I think the business of hip hop now is it's like an independent thing. Like, what can you do by yourself, or what can you do with your team? Most of the like up and comers have done it by themselves. Like, they had this talent, or they had, you know what I'm saying, this aura to them. They honed the skill. They used social media or whatever outlet they had to make themselves become bigger. Like, that's how you do it now, I feel like. Like, it's like you don't just sign your life away and like, hey, we'll make you famous. It's like now, you know what I'm saying? Like, now there are people who don't even make music who have 50, 60,000 people waiting by their computer, like, hey, what's this person thinking? What's this person And for that to happen, like, now it's like you can use the internet, or like being able to perform around. Like, you make yourself an important figure now in the hip hop world, or just in the world in general. You can do that yourself. The need for backing, or the need, you know what I'm saying? And then especially with like the brands and stuff reaching out and trying to, you know what I'm saying, support the art. Like, it's like you can make a living without, you know what I'm saying, without all of the paperwork. Now it's like you find your team, I just see it becoming even more like this. Like, I think eventually independent, because the one thing like independent still hasn't really taken over, radio. I think eventually that may happen. I think, you know what I'm saying, I see a total shift into where it's not just we are signed to this major label. We are, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're signed to a major label, so you're obviously, they put a nice amount of money into you. But it's like now even majors expect you to already be on when you sign. And it's like, well, what's the point of that? You made me get famous by myself. I sold 100,000 copies by myself. So what's the point at this point? Giving away music for free is also going to become even more common, or maybe optional, like the option to purchase or the option to free download, solely because it's going to happen regardless. So you might as well just embrace it. It's new. Everything is new. And I feel like it's only, you know what I'm saying, everything keeps changing, so it's no reason to even attach yourself to this idea. Like, independent, like, you know, it might, everything changes so much, it might in 5 years be like major all over again. You know, right now, it feels like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, I don't got any complaints with it. It's going good so far. Obviously, most people on your YouTube channel have probably never heard of me. But the cool thing about that is it feels like this and not like, you know, it's a rising thing, and that comes with the grind. Like, you know, I see the direction of music becoming something that is much more free. I see it influencing youth in that it's just allowing people to, you know, I feel like be themselves. It's no longer, like, it's still out there, but it's no longer just the gold chains with the women and the Rolexes. It's like they're rappers who, you know what I'm saying, embrace just being. And I feel like that's something that's is new to, especially like to the hip hop world. Like, for you to have a bunch of money and not necessarily just make it rain anytime, you know, it's just like embracing yourself. Like, there's rappers, like how I said, one of the reasons I mess with Lupe is because it felt like he was, you know what I'm saying, like he had a brain. Like, it's okay to be smart now. As far as like youth goes, it's one of the most influenceable things like on youth is music. So I think the fact that there are rappers rapping about what it was like being them, what it was like growing up, you know what I'm saying? The fact that they're inspiring children to make it out of their surroundings and everything, I think is one of the best times in rap musically, as far as subject matter goes, as far as like the business of it, as far as how it's presented to you. Because now you find what you know what I'm saying? If you want to hear a certain record, you're gonna find it, because the internet is not just like radio. Like, this is what you like, this is what you like. It's like you go out and you find what you like, you find what inspires you, and I think it's making people better people. I think social media, like, has basically single-handedly been one of the, like, leading roles of like how we're, you know, how we move around basically. You know, not being on a major, not even being on like any label like whatsoever. It's like social media is kind of how we get heard. Just trying to figure out ways to master the fuckery that is social media, and, you know, figuring out new ways. Because it was like at a point where, you know, no followers, no posts, no likes, no nothing. And it's like just figuring out how to get more. It's basically gotten to a point where the more followers you have equals the more plays on your song. And it's like everything works like a social network. Like even SoundCloud works like a social network. Just trying to figure that out, you know, has been what's gotten the music heard. It's crazy, like, you never know who's looking at your social media. You never know who could, you know, like just how you never know who you're standing by, basically. Like, social media has basically become the real world.
The sound was terrible, just constantly, like, people in the crowd was like, ah, ah. I stopped the music and say, can everybody in the room head to the bar? And I stood on top of the bar and did the rest of my set.
When we put up to his house, we was like, we looked at each other like, oh fuck, we are really at Rick Rubin's house. Like, I still have the water bottle that he gave me, that I drank all the water out of. The water just tasted different. I've had moments where I was just like, fuck it, man, I'm in debt, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get a job, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop with the music, you know what I'm saying? I've had plenty of moments like that, but honestly, this is what I'm passionate about, and what is success without struggle?
I walk into that space expecting for people to be real and honest and genuine and not treat me like another number, and not treat me like another place, and not treat me like another, you know what I'm saying? But that's exactly how they treated me, and that's my own fault for assuming that they wouldn't.